National statistics show that about 92% of sexual assaults are between people who know each other. So most of those happen between acquaintances, people who know each other through a class or a work situation. So the Get Sexy, Get Consent program is one component of Voices Against Violence. Voices Against Violence deals with the issues of relationship violence, sexual violence, and stalking on our campus. And we do that through a variety of services. We do a lot of individual work with survivors of these issues through the Counseling Center. And that can include group counseling, individual counseling, advocacy services, but then we do a lot of outreach work. And one of our primary means of outreach is Theater for Dialogue, which is what the Get Sexy, Get Consent program is part of.
He has to come up, and I said, why not? I had to put myself out there like my friends had said. We kept kissing and more. His hands were all over my body so fast, and I couldn't believe it was happening. As seniors in my room, kissing me, touching me, wanting me. And then he did something else. He unbuttoned my pants, and I froze. I didn't know what to do. He took them off, and I didn't say no. There weren't any words, just assumptions.
I was inspired to create this new way of programming because we do a lot of programming around sexual assault, but I felt like there's an underlying piece of examining sexual assault that students weren't necessarily understanding yet, and that is the idea and the definition and the nature of consent.
My favorite part is just to hear the different reactions from people and the different answers that they give, and the way that the show is kind of malleable, and it's never the same. Every time we do it, it's different. We get different answers. We have different questions that come up that we think about that provoke us to look at it a different way, and it's just really fun that it's never the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of that. It's like the moments where it feels like a conversation rather than a performance. Mm-hmm. When folks in the audience are talking to each other and we can kind of step back, like those moments are really great, and because it means, you know, okay, oh, we are having a conversation, and the conversation is the important part.
Yep.
And since it was like in the classroom, and I thought it was gonna be like a play like where you rehearse, I didn't know it was gonna be like interaction and stuff.
At the very end, they did that whole little segment where like the two actors were actually in bed, and they were trying to find, I guess, a way to say, to give consent to each other. And I guess for me personally, I think that the one thing I got from it is that you could, there is a sexy way to do it, to get consent. At the same time, I guess I figure if you just come into a situation with confidence, it doesn't always have to be uncomfortable or awkward.
You know, sex is a very real part of life, and we need to be able to talk about it. Consent means
a conversation.
A conversation. A conversation.
We can communicate honestly with each other.
We share power.
I will listen.
I will listen.
I will listen.
I feel respected.
Valued.
And heard. I get to say
yes.